You want to be an outstanding teacher? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm going to share with you my 5 top tips on how you can become the outstanding teacher. If you're interested, please stick around. Hi, assalamualaikum and welcome to my channel. My name's Halima. I create content on teaching, lifestyle and vlogging. I'm a teacher here in Manchester. I'm a maths teacher and I've been teaching for over 6 years. So I have so much experience to share with you. If you're interested in teaching content and stuff like that, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and follow me on TikTok and Instagram where I post regular content relating to this. Right. So I'm going to share with you my 5 top tips. So a little bit of background about me first. I've been teaching in FE and I'm a maths teacher for about 5-6 years, and since day one, literally when I was an NQT, which is now called a CCT, I've always had a trainee. I know, a bit like, why you're a CCT, why should you have a trainee? But yeah, I got a trainee, I had 2. And every trainee has been better than the last one, and they have reached that point of being outstanding teachers. So I'm going to share with you how I became that outstanding teacher, and then I pass this knowledge on to them. So the 5 top tips that I will share with you are as follows. And number 5, we have contextualisation. Relate everything to the students. Look at what they're interested in, look at what topics are out there, watch the programs that they watch. For example, right now we've got the World Cup. I remember I was being observed by 4 other maths tutors, and it was during the World Cup seasons, and I was teaching a youngsters group 16 to 18, and we were doing GCSE maths. So because I had a lot of youngsters in there and a lot of boys, I diverted all my probability lesson towards World Cup. So it was really interesting because we got a huge discussion going, and I also got the topic through. So it was a win-win situation for me, and it really works. So do try to do that if you can. And in the number 4 spot, we have set high expectations. This is not just for yourself, it's also for the students. The students need to know what they're aiming for and always challenge them. There are so many amazing websites out there that you can use to help you challenge your students, from exam style questions, from a little Tarsier, stuff like that. You can do that. And I think it's also important because it shows within you that you have the capability to stretch and challenge your students. Obviously there is always going to be those students that you need to support them. Twinkle is absolutely amazing for those students that you need to support and guide a little bit further, whereas the ones that you are going to challenge, you have stuff like GCSE maths questions and stuff like that. You can always go onto those websites and they have ample amount of information for you. And number 3 is being resourceful and organised. I have found I can be dragged from teaching an entry lesson through to going into a GCSE lesson, which I've been asked to cover. So having something in the back of my bag is important, because I don't know what you're going to go into. You always can just pull that out and actually teach it. So I always have like some dice or some cards, and I just pull them out and I go, right, okay, we're doing probability, or we're doing X, Y and Z, and then the students are able to come on board with whatever I want to teach them and stuff like that. Also, being resourceful and organised also means having your classroom set up the way you want it from the moment the students come in. So I will have all my mini whiteboards out, and sometimes I've seen teachers that I've observed and they have mini whiteboards and calculators out for the students, so as they come in they know what's expected of them, because there's a routine. That routine means you come in, you sit down, you get on with what's ever on the board, and then you use the mini whiteboards as and when as a means for you to support yourself, or even to guide yourself to do a little bit of working out. And the students know that they're here to learn. The expectation is set, and that is really important for students because it's like a routine. It's what's expected, they know what they need to do, they will execute, and that is a good management of a teacher. And as a mentor, we're looking out for stuff like this. We're looking at what are the routines that the students have every time they come in. So being resourceful and being organised is also important, because you will save yourself from wasting time in the middle of a lesson going, right, okay, let me look in the cupboard and let me get the mini whiteboards and pens out. Oh, you place a hit, like you know, it's, you can just focus your lesson on teaching, which is your job at the end of the day. And number 2, we have something that's really, really important and can make a huge difference to your classroom management, and that is cultivating relationships with students. I've seen teachers where the relationship is not as strong, and then I've seen teachers with relationships that are really, really strong, and the management and the behaviour in both are different. Misbehaviour, listening to whatever the teacher's got to tell them. So that is really important. And it also means that you are on the side of the student. Think about it realistically. These students are here for 8 hours of the day, 5 days a week, and they're with you. It's basically a full-time job for them, and they see more of you than they see of their family and friends. So you need to be there to support, make them feel safe, and to make them, encourage them to exceed their expectations. So if you can do that, you're an outstanding teacher. And you can see the way they will interact with you, the way they'll take things on board. Yes, naturally we'll have students that are excelling in everything, but there's always those students that we need to support. Think about how you're going to support them. So I always use Twinkle for little support materials. They have word mats and stuff like that you can download from there. Never leave a student behind is one thing I learned. Always take the students on a journey with you. And when students come on board with you, they will 1, behave, and 2, listen to what you've got to say, and 3, learn, which is one of the main important things, because that will lead to your progress results. Because when they see that happening, the teachers will be like, okay, she's a good teacher, you need to go to her, or he's a good teacher, you need to go to her, and that will echo around the room. Also remember that not all these students are coming from a household where they have 2 parents. So they sometimes need to let off steam, and that might happen with you. So if you're that door, leave it open, because you never know what type of student's going to come through the door. So you may have a child that's looked after, a child from a broken family where dad might not be in the picture or mum might not be in the picture. So they might be looking after their siblings, they've got an ill parent, parents might be working late hours to support their family, stuff like that. So this is all the things that as a teacher we've got to keep at the back of our heads. So it's really, really important that relationships are built from day one. And I think the most important thing that I've always done is show them that I'm a human. And at the first lesson I will always share a little bit about me. So I'll tell them that, oh, I'm an eldest sibling, I never wanted to teach maths, I never wanted to be a teacher, and we just start cracking jokes. And I think that's really important, because then they know that I'm quite laid back and they can get on with me, and then that is how I get their buy-in right from day 1. So spend that extra 5 minutes and just show them you're human. Crack a joke here or there, and that's what we always do. Every lesson I crack a joke. And the most important thing that you need to be an outstanding teacher is, and it's in first place, number 1, is strong subject knowledge. Strong subject knowledge can make or break a teacher. I've seen teachers where the subject knowledge is not as strong as you want it to be, and then you go in and you have to teach, and I'm like, why can't you be our teacher? And then I've seen teachers with strong subject knowledge and they've got a grasp of their students. So that's really important. Know the topic that you're teaching. If you don't know it, this is what I used to do when I was training, is as I'm planning the lesson, I will revise the topic as I go along. So then I know what I'm teaching. So when I'm looking at something, I'm not going, how am I teaching this again? What are we talking about? Or the other thing is, observe a teacher who's strong in that subject area. Watch how they teach and then bring that into your classroom, or amend it to how it will fit your students. You will lose students if your subject knowledge is not strong, but if it is strong, you're on for a winner. And then, like I said, those students will buy into you, and everything that I just said will fall into place because it's just part of the system. So that is my 5 top tips on how you can become an outstanding teacher. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for regular teacher content. Let me know what topics in teaching you are interested in, and also follow me on TikTok and Instagram for regular little snippets on teaching, and I will see you in the next video. Till next time, bye.